What if I told you there was a fire during World War II that burned for hours, and no one could see it? No thick smoke, no rising plume, no obvious signal, just destruction. Not magic, not myth, but a deliberate trick of chemistry, physics, and wartime desperation. So effective. It was buried, classified, and quietly forgotten. So tonight we ask the question, how do you start a fire that refuses to reveal itself? Smoke was a liability. During World War II, smoke meant visibility. Visibility meant detection. Detection meant death. Bombers were spotted by smoke trails. Saboteurs were exposed by rising plumes. Resistance fighters were betrayed by a single wisp drifting into the sky. So military scientists faced an impossible challenge. How do you burn something without announcing it? Every fire tells a story. Smoke is that story. And to hide the fire, they had to silence the smoke. Here's the secret most people don't know. Smoke isn't caused by fire itself. It's caused by incomplete combustion. When fuel doesn't burn fully, it releases unburned carbon particles, what we see as smoke. So the solution wasn't to stop burning, it was to perfect it. Enter one of the strangest wartime discoveries, smokeless combustion systems. German, British and American researchers, often unknowingly racing each other, discovered that certain metal-based incendiaries behaved very differently. Magnesium, thermite, and later aluminum oxide blends. Unlike wood or oil, these didn't rely on oxygen from the air. They carried their own oxygen inside the chemical structure. No oxygen scavenging, no floating carbon particles, no smoke, just white-hot, invisible destruction. Thermite wasn't new, but the Second World War, well, it changed how it was used. Thermite burns at over 2,500 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt steel, hot enough to cut railways, hot enough to destroy engines quietly. And here's the key. Thermite produces almost no smoke, just blinding light and molten metal. Sabotage teams used it to disable trains, factories, artillery, sometimes right under enemy noses. By the time anyone noticed, the damage was already done. But thermite was just the beginning. Military labs wanted something worse, you see, something that could burn for hours, be portable, be hidden, and leave no visible trace from the air. So they experimented with gelled fuels combined with oxidizers, early versions of what would later inspire napalm, but, you know, refined, balanced, controlled. These fires burned low and steady, consuming everything, while remaining practically invisible from above. Pilots flew over them, never knowing what was happening below. Here's the uncomfortable part. These techniques didn't disappear after the Second World War. They were classified, refined, absorbed into Cold War doctrine. Smokeless fires are ideal for covert sabotage, infrastructure denial, psychological warfare, and most importantly, plausible deniability. No smoke means no witnesses. No witnesses means no proof. Ever seen footage of facilities failing, with no explosion, no smoke, just sudden collapse? Ever wondered how certain operations disable systems without visible damage? The principles haven't changed. Perfect combustion, internal oxidizers, silent heat, the WT fray. Never went away, it just got better. Imagine being there. No alarms, no warning, just heat. Metal sagging, structures failing, a fire you can't see but can't escape. That uncertainty was intentional, because fear spreads faster than smoke. So here's the real question. If governments once hid fires to win wars, what else did they learn to hide? And how many accidents in history weren't accidents at all? History doesn't always burn loudly. Sometimes it burns quietly, invisible, patient, unnoticed, until it's already too late. If this made you question what you thought you knew, you're not alone. Subscribe, stay curious, and remember, the most dangerous fires are the ones you never see.